Nobel laureate and interim leader Muhammad Yunus has announced that Bangladesh will hold a national referendum on democratic reforms alongside its parliamentary elections in February 2026. The move comes amid efforts to rebuild the country's political system after last year's uprising that hosted Sheikh Hasina. In a televised address, Yunus said that the referendum and elections will be held on the same day, calling the process both festive and cost efficient. He said the vote would decide whether Bangladesh should adopt the July Charter, a landmark reform document born out of last year's student-led movement that forced Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to flee to India. The interim government approved the July National Charter Implementation Order 2025, which will take effect depending on the results of the referendum. The July Charter proposes sweeping changes to the country's political and constitutional structure, including a two-term limit for prime ministers, expanded presidential powers, greater judicial independence, and stronger protections for fundamental rights. It also seeks to increase women's representation and grant constitutional recognition to the 2024 uprising, seen as a turning point in the nation's history. Most major political parties have expressed support for the charter, but some, including the National Citizens Party, which was formed by the leaders of the protest movement, and a few leftist groups, have boycotted it, claiming there's no binding legal framework to ensure the reforms are actually implemented. Supporters see the move as a blueprint for long-term democratic reform, while critics warn it could remain symbolic without parliamentary consensus. Yunus, however, says he is confident political forces will come together, describing the dual vote as Bangladesh's decisive step towards democratic renewal. If the referendum passes, it could reshape Bangladesh's political system for decades, turning the page on one of the most turbulent chapters in its modern history.